What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got a lot for you guys in this video. You won't believe what China's doing. Multiple things for you guys here. A new bipartisan bill that Congress won't get paid. Give you the details here on that. And a major state banning 5 food ingredients that you might be eating. I'll give you the details on what the ingredients are, why they're banning these food ingredients, and will more states follow? And what these food ingredients are, it's very, very concerning because honestly, you're probably eating these ingredients, and I'll give you the details in this video. Let's get ready. Here we go. Thanks so much for liking these videos. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. Here we go. All right, the G7, where President Biden's at, just called on China to pressure Russia to end the Ukraine war. Yeah, the G7, the top 7 countries in the world, well, kind of, yeah. It was actually hosted in Hiroshima, Japan, where the atomic bomb was dropped. Yeah, and President Zelensky's there from Ukraine. Hopefully, there's no more nuclear bombs dropped, right? Yeah. President Joe Biden, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, European Union Commissioner President Ursula von der Leyen, I'd say a mouthful, President Zelensky from Ukraine, who's not part of the G7 but was there, European Council President Charles Michel, Julian Benedetti, Italian ambassador to Japan, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and France's President Emmanuel Macron. Meanwhile, China's President Xi is absolutely furious that the US is going to be sending $500 million weapons deal to Taiwan. They're absolutely furious. And China is taking this as a direct threat from the United States. Yeah, they're taking this as an actual escalation here. This could literally open up a new can of worms here. We're also getting reports here that China sent helmets to the Wagner mercenary group, despite sanctions, according to new reports. Yeah, the Russian mercenary group, the Wagner Group, received tens of thousands of protective helmets from China late last year. The Financial Times is now reporting. The report mentioned that the period of time when the Wagner Group, Yuri Prigozhin, was apparently raising a massive prisoner army to attack Ukraine. The report mentions that the entities used by the warlord to equip his operations in Africa have continued to freely export and import items across international markets despite Western sanctions. The report mentioned that, as seen in the customs filings and interviews, a Wagner connected Russian company named Broker Expert purchased 20,000 polymer based helmets from a small Chinese company named Hangzhou Shine Rain Import and Export Company in November and December of last year. The Chinese organization claimed they were intended for gaming purposes. The helmets were reportedly split over 4 shipments with a combined value of more than 2 million pounds. The Wagner chief boss told the media outlet that in a voice message he had never heard of the name of the company engaged in the helmet purchase. And sarcastically, he also offered to send the Financial Times, quote, this is the Wagner boss, quote, a large bag of my dirty laundry that I will collect over the course of a week or two so that you can make a study of my underpants, socks, used toilet paper, and whatever else you want as well. Oh boy. The report also mentioned that this broker also sent power generators, welding electrodes, and fireproof insulating materials as well to a Prigozhin controlled logging company as well. Also, mysteriously, we're now seeing massive imports, or I'm sorry, exports, import, export, right? China is now exporting massive amounts to North Korea. Strangely, remember that North Korea has been threatening the United States here a lot as well. And China's exports to North Korea soared in April from a year ago with wigs and fertilizer. Fertilizers is interesting because that can be a flammable material among major shipments, Chinese customs data showed. However, customs data has been known to be falsified many a times. Chinese outbound shipments to the isolated country surged 69% year over year on $166 million in April alone. Yeah. So you guys can let me know your thoughts. Are they plotting something? Something going down? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Meanwhile, the U.S. Bipartisan Commission here in Congress, that if Congress doesn't do their job, they might not get paid. Take a look at this new bill here.
Joining us right now for more on the debt ceiling standoff are the co-chairs of the bipartisan House Problem Solvers Caucus. Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey and Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania. He introduced a bill that would prevent members of Congress from getting paid during a default. Gentlemen, welcome. Congressman Fitzpatrick, that's a brilliant idea. How'd that go over in Congress?
Well, it should be common sense. I've also introduced similar legislation when we have a government shutdown. In fact, I wrote a personal check in excess of $10,000 of my own funds back to the Treasury when we had a shutdown in my first term. I think, it shouldn't take that type of incentive to force members of Congress to do their jobs. But if that's what it takes, so be it. And myself and Abigail Spanberger introduced a similar bill with respect to the debt ceiling.
Why the heck didn't they pass it?
Well, it just got introduced, and hopefully it gets taken up. I also introduced a stock trading ban for members of Congress that covers everyone from Matt Gaetz to AOC and everyone in between. We tried to get that taken up for consideration last Congress unsuccessfully. Hopefully, the fate of that bill changes this Congress.
Can I add one thing to your legislation? Maybe not only does Congress not get paid if the debt ceiling is defaulted on, but there's no back pay either. So if it takes you 3 weeks to work it out, that's 3 weeks of lost pay.
Correct. And that's an important distinction because a lot of people will introduce, a lot of state legislators across America, by the way, have introduced a gimmicky bill that basically just delays pay. It doesn't forfeit it completely. It should be forfeited. And that's what our bill does.
Great. Congressman Gottheimer, good to see you this morning. Why don't you tell us where you think things stand right now? Do you feel like there is a deal that's going to get done? Because it certainly sounds like it after everything we've heard the last week.
Well, I think first and foremost, we know that a deal has to get done, right? It's not an option to default and to not pay our bills and to send the markets and our reputation in the world into a tailspin. So I think there's a deep recognition, and I think it's a good thing. We've now focused the players in the room, and I know they're incredibly hard at work. So that's good. And we've got to go fast because time's not on our side, as Secretary Yellen said. So to me, that's good progress. Brian and I in the Problem Solvers Caucus for months now have been pushing for people to sit down and actually talk. We've put out ideas, I think, good ones in terms of calling for suspending the debt ceiling, taking that off the table as an issue and not playing politics with the full faith and credit of the country, and also setting up a bipartisan commission to deal with longer term fiscal issues in our country because we have to deal with both. And so I hoping that's going to be the outcome of these negotiations.
So the Freedom Caucus has been complaining about some things that might be changed. The progressives on the other side have been complaining about things they don't want to give away. Do you guys feel like you're getting what you want, basically, if there is some agreement that's worked out between the two sides? What do you think, Josh?
Well, I think if it's worked out on both sides, we're going to get what we want, right? I mean, we need that. Everyone's not going to be happy with everything. That's, to me, always a good deal if everyone's a little upset. And, it's not going to be perfect, but the bottom line is we're going to make sure that the full faith and credit of the United States continues, make sure that we don't give China, the government of China, any gifts by defaulting, and that we pay our bills and we do the right thing. So to me, listen, it's going to be tough choices on both sides. I know that's what the parties are working on now. But in the end, we just cannot afford to even think of defaulting. I know some of our colleagues on both sides might think that's a good idea. That is a terrible idea for our country and for people's savings and 401ks and pensions.
Also, I mentioned the bill with food ingredients being banned. Take a look here and why this might be coming to more states here with the FDA and all this. Take a look here. All right, California Assembly passes first in nation bill to ban 5 toxic chemicals from food products. Of course, we know California is the largest state in the nation. This is actually from fox5sandiego.com. Here's another one from the Los Angeles Times. California bill targeting toxic chemicals in Skittles and other snacks passes first hurdle. This is because it's passed their House of Representatives, but not the Senate. Here's the details of this. Take a look here. A first of its kind law that would ban the use of certain ingredients and dyes linked to cancer and other health issues in processed foods and drinks is now closer than ever to becoming a reality in the largest state in our nation, California, which is home to over 50 million people. Assembly Bill 418, introduced by Assembly members Jesse Gabriel and Buffy Wicks, what a name, would ban the manufacturing and sale and distribution of foods containing red dye number 3, titanium dioxide. Can you believe this stuff is even in food? Potassium bromate, brominated vegetable oil, or propylyl. God, is this stuff even in food? Propylparaben. Unfortunately, starting in 2025, if it's so harmful and causes cancer, should be starting faster. Here's the items that already contain these dangerous things that cause cancer, and they also cause here from the Fox article, they're linked to cancer and developmental issues in children. Yeah, so here's some of the popular foods. This is just some of them that may contain any of those 5 substances, including Crush orange soda, Mountain Dew, some Betty Crocker icings and sprinkles, an array of Hostess snacks, and a list maintained by the nonprofit Environmental Working Group, a supporter of the legislation. In fact, if I look at the list here, according to that company here, there's a whole bunch of them. Always Save Fruit Punch, Always Save Orange Drink, Baby Rabbit Premium Gold Margarita, Big Shot Pineapple, Crush Orange Soda, D&G, Days Fruit Punch, Faygo, Moon Mist, Food Lion Orange Pineapple Soda, Mountain Dew Soda, Market Basket Orange Soda, whole bunch of different stuff. ShopRite, Charged Soda, Stars and Stripe, Citrus, Mountain Soda. Yeah. States across the U.S., including California, Washington, and New York, have passed bills banning some chemicals from being purposely added to food packaging. This latest bill, which cleared California State Assembly this week, would be the first in the nation to actually ban chemicals intentionally added to food as preservatives or to enhance colors and flavors. Quote, this legislation will protect kids, families, and consumers in California from some really toxic chemicals with well-documented risks of harm. Companies found to be in violation could be fined up to $5,000 for just the first offense and $10,000 for each subsequent infraction, according to the bill text. And I mean, you think about Mountain Dew, that's a pretty common drink. The bill passed the assembly by a large party line margin. So, will this be coming to more states? Will this finally pass? I'll keep you up to date here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe down below, subscribe button, and the bell icon afterwards that appears. And this way you won't miss out on new videos that come out on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for hitting the like button and share this video with anybody that needs to see this information. There's a share button down below, and you can send the link to anybody through messages or Facebook or anything like that as well. Here's some videos you should watch next. What Congress is doing should be illegal. You can see here in this video. And this is a direct threat that Biden should take seriously. There's two of them, actually. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.